I'm John Lesky, recently retired personal financial advisor and founder of finhealth, a tool to guide you to your financial independence. In this and the next two videos, we look at how the finhealth personal finance software can be used to assess financial health at various stages of life and careers. This video examines the situation of two fictional professional early career accumulator couples, Stephen and Sophie Smith and James and Josie Johnson. Both males are aged 38, with both females aged 36. The following video examines two mid-career professional couples, with male partners aged 48, with the third looking at two professional pre-retiree couples, with the male partners aged 58. Now, turning to our early career accumulators, the personal finance software inputs for each couple are provided on the screen now, first for the Smiths and then the Johnsons. A close analysis will reveal that both male partners expect to retire in 27 years, at their age 65, with the female partners retiring at age 60 in 24 years. Both couples' income expectations, target growth asset allocations at 60%, and inheritance estimates of $750,000 in 27 years are exactly the same. Their current net worth is also the same at $2.5 million, but the composition is very different. The table on the screen details their situations. What isn't directly revealed in the table is that both couples owned and lived in a one-bedroom apartment prior to purchasing their current residences 3 years ago. The Smiths chose to hold on to their apartment as an investment property. However, the Johnsons sold their apartment to fund a significant proportion of the cost of their more modest current home. These decisions primarily explain the very large difference in both investment assets and outstanding borrowings, despite the same net worth. Spending assumptions also differ markedly, as shown now. The Smiths generally expect to spend more than the Johnsons between now and retirement, and wish to allow for $10,000 a year additional spending in retirement. Their renovations are also expected to cost $250,000 more. On the surface, both couples appear to have done well to date and have expectations for a nice lifestyle, with the Johnsons a little more modest. But a comparison of their finhealth personal finance software reports suggests the Smiths, despite being early career, have already significantly reduced their financial flexibility and the chances of achieving their version of financial independence. We'll focus our discussion on each couple's personal financial dashboard. The Smiths dashboard is shown on the screen now. The dashboard identifies some major potential issues, including an investment wealth ratio that is maximised at a little over 50%, compared with the benchmark of 55% that's regarded as indicative of good financial health. It then slides to close to zero as net investment wealth is eroded to support a desired retirement lifestyle. On the face of it, the warning is that the Smiths intend to commit too much of net worth to lifestyle assets to be consistent with long-term good financial health. Next, a retirement expenditure multiple that rises from a little less than -6 at Stephen's age 43 to a maximum of a little under 16 years at Stephen's age 66, well below the benchmark of 25. It then falls to virtually zero, suggesting the Smiths' desired retirement lifestyle is potentially unsustainable. They need to explore ways to increase net investment wealth and/or reduce lifestyle expectations to achieve the benchmark. Next, the tax effectiveness ratio increases from a current 15.1% to a benchmark equal 75% at Stephen's age 66, suggesting that Smith's net investment wealth will be held reasonably tax effectively at retirement. However, the problem revealed in the further increase after age 66 and then dramatic fall in the tax effectiveness ratio is that there is likely to be simply insufficient wealth to be consistent with good financial health. Next, a current growth asset allocation ratio of 70.6% above the target growth asset allocation ratio of 60%. The software forces the reduction to below 60% in the second year and achievement of the target by the proposed retirement date. But the practicalities of this need to be considered. The current overweight position is primarily due to the Smiths' decision to maintain their first apartment as an investment property. It's a lumpy growth asset, currently worth about $1.2 million, reducing the flexibility to gradually change an overweight growth position. As a result, unless the Smiths are willing to immediately sell the apartment to rebalance their portfolio, they are likely to carry a growth asset exposure greater than their self-assessed attitude to investment risk for an extended period. The decision to hold on to the apartment has unwittingly locked them into a higher growth asset risk than they are comfortable with. And finally, a current investment diversification ratio of 20%, well below the benchmark of 75%. Again, the software forces the investment diversification rate to the benchmark by retirement. In practice, however, achieving the benchmark would require the Smiths to sell their investment property and reinvest the proceeds into more diversified investments. The property is a large concentrated holding that adds to investment risk without any compensating expected return, and as such isn't regarded as consistent with good financial health. So, both currently and prospectively, in terms of the finhealth framework, the Smiths' financial health would be rated as poor. Aware of this, at least they have plenty of time to both explore and make adjustments to their expectations. The personal financial dashboard for the Johnsons is shown on the screen now. An examination reveals that, first, the investment wealth ratio rises over time to an above benchmark maximum 58.5% at James's age 67, and then falls off slightly as investment wealth is drawn down to fund a desired retirement lifestyle. It suggests that a reasonably healthy balance between lifestyle and investment assets is projected, and at this stage doesn't raise any particular concerns. Next, a retirement expenditure multiple that, following completion of the proposed renovations at James's age 43, rises to a slightly below benchmark maximum of 24.6 at James's age 66. It then remains above the declining benchmark for the rest of the projection period. It indicates that the Johnsons' expectations aren't unreasonable, with their projected investment wealth likely to be sufficient to fund their desired retirement lifestyle. Next, a tax effectiveness ratio that climbs steadily but is maximised at a below benchmark level of 64.7%. It suggests that the Johnsons could potentially increase the tax effectiveness of their investment holdings by exploring avenues to more fully utilise the superannuation environment. Next, a current growth asset allocation ratio of 20.3%, well below their target of 60%. This reflects the expectation that a significant share of their projected investment wealth comprises expected future savings or future capital. As these savings are realised, the software employs a hard-coded formula to gradually increase the growth asset allocation ratio to 60% by James's age 65. In practice, an investment strategy that results in a more even transition to 60% may provide a better investment experience for the Johnsons. Finally, a current investment diversification ratio of 86.7%, well above the usual benchmark of 75%, and hard-coded into the software, the investment diversification ratio is projected to reach 100 by James's age 65. It can be concluded that the Johnsons are reducing investment risk by diversifying broadly. So, while the Johnsons are currently well short of financial independence, their expectations appear roughly consistent with achieving good financial health or financial independence by age 65. Of course, things will change along the way, and they should regularly review their position. So, we've looked at two early career accumulator couples that, superficially, appear to be doing pretty well financially. But if financial independence is desired by both, the finhealth approach indicates that the Smiths aren't so well positioned, and some changes in their expectations and investment practices should be considered. The Johnsons' current expectations appear reasonable. However, as early career accumulators, the Smiths do have the luxury of time that isn't available to those much closer to their desired retirement age. Some relatively modest changes may be all that is required to dramatically improve the outlook for their long-term financial health. The comparison also highlights why you can't base your financial behaviours on what other people that you think are a lot like you are doing. They may be unwittingly headed over a financial cliff and be dragging you with them. Hopefully, you found this video of interest. I'd like to know what you think. Please provide any comments or questions below. And finally, thanks for watching.